Hello, I'm Miss Angelique, and welcome to Miss Angelique's Bible Story Time. We're going to take a walk through the Bible, one book at a time, starting with Genesis. And I would love for you to come and take a walk with me. We're going to see some great and interesting places. We're going to meet some interesting people. There are a lot of great people in the Bible. Some are nice and some are not so nice. But wherever you go in this world and whatever you do, whoever you meet, God is always right there with you. So come and take a walk with me as we begin our walk through the Bible. Now, Genesis 1 and 1, the first chapter and the first verse says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and it was void." That means it didn't have a shape. It was empty. It was nothing. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God created light. God created this world. And God said everything that He made is good and very good. And God divided the dark from that light that He created, and He called the dark night, and the light He called day. And that was the very first day of creation. And next, on that next day of creation, God created the clouds and the sky, the firmament. He created that. God created the clouds and the sky, that beautiful cloud, the beautiful sky. God created it. Yes, on that second day of creation. And then on that third day of creation, God created the plants. He created the land and He created the seas, the waters. He divided the waters and He called them seas, and that dirt that He called it land. And the plants, so many plants, every tree that you can think of, every flower, every grass, a piece of blade of grass. God created it. Yes, God made that on that third day of creation. Oh, it was so beautiful. Remember, everything God made, it was good and very good. And on that fourth day, He created the sun, yes, the moon, and the stars. God created He made it and He brought it forth. The sun, can you imagine that bright and beautiful sun? God created it. The moon at night, it can be so bright and beautiful. Oh, God created that. He placed them in the sky. And then God created the stars, all those lights that you see at night. If you look outside and you see those lights, those little stars, God created them. They look so small to us, but God, they are so huge and humongous. But to us, those beautiful bright lights in the sky, those stars, God placed them there. That was the fourth day of creation. And on the fifth day, because we had the seas, we had the sky and the clouds, God placed the fish, every sea creature, every water creature. God created it on that fifth day. Yeah, whatever animal in the ocean, in the seas that you can think of, God created them and He placed them there, and they are good and very good. And every bird in the sky, those that can fly, they have wings, and some that can't fly. He created them, the small hummingbird, the large ostrich, that eagle that flies in the sky. God created it on that fifth day of creation. And then on the sixth day, God made every land animal, every creature, every animal that walks on the land. What animal can you think of? What's the smallest animal that you can think of that walks on the land? What about a little mouse? God created it on that 6th day. What about a huge elephant? God created it. The dinosaurs, they're not here with us now, but God made them on that sixth day of creation. Now we have the land animals, the fish, the birds, the sun, the moon, the stars, the plants, the seas, the clouds, the sky, night and day. And then God created man. God created man on the sixth day. And man, God, the Bible said God formed man from the dust of the earth. God made man from the dust of the earth. Yeah. And he made his hair, his face. God made his arms, his legs. Oh, God made the inside and the outside, his brains, his heart. God made it, yeah. His skin. But guess what? He wasn't living yet. The Bible said God breathed in man's nostrils and in his nose. Take a deep breath. That's God's breath you're breathing. God breathed in man's nostril, and he became a living soul. Now he was alive and he could move and he could breathe, and his heart beat and his mind was thinking and his blood was flowing because the breath of God was in him. And God created man on the sixth day. And God gave man authority. God gave man the power to name the animals. The Bible said that God brought the animals to the man whom he called Adam, the first man. God brought the animals to Adam, and whatever Adam wanted to call them, that was their name. God gave Adam that power to do that. And Adam called the dog, that canine, Adam called him that. That elephant, Adam named them that. And it was okay. Whatever animal that you can think of, God brought them to Adam. And Adam named them. And Adam was so happy in that garden. And it was so beautiful. And those animals, those lions, Adam wasn't scared of them because they were not harmful to Adam. They weren't mean to Adam. And he wasn't afraid of them. But God said, after saying everything that he created, it was good and very good. And then God said, it's not good that man be alone. It wasn't good. Now, Adam, he had the animals he could talk to, and I'm pretty sure the dog was his best friend, maybe. But he didn't have anyone that looked like he looked. He didn't have anyone to think like he thought. He didn't have anyone that had hands like him or two legs that walk upright like he did. Now, there were the monkeys and the gorillas and certain animals that walk, but they weren't like Adam. And God said, it's not good that man is alone. So you know what God did? He put Adam to sleep in a deep sleep, a deep sleep. And while Adam was asleep, God opened up his side. Can you touch, and got out a rib? Can you touch your side right here and feel those bones? That's your rib. So Adam, while he was in that deep sleep, he was sleeping so hard, God opened him up and it didn't hurt him. Adam was not hurt at all. And God took out that rib and made a woman. He made that woman for Adam. And while Adam was asleep, God made that woman. He made her hair. He made it a little longer than Adam's. He made her face. It was like Adam's, but it was a face of a girl. Her body, it was a girl's body. Now, Adam had a boy body. And he woke Adam up and he brought this woman to Adam. And I can imagine that Adam was so happy to see this woman that he's never seen before. He didn't see anyone like him. And Adam said, this is bone of my bone. Her bones are like mine. And her flesh, her skin is like mine. And Adam was so happy. and he called that woman Eve. She was the mother of all living. And that man, Adam, and that woman, Eve, they lived in this beautiful garden that God had placed them in. And he told them, this garden is yours. And anything that you see that you can want to eat and that grows in the trees, and those strawberries that grow on the ground, and those blueberries that grow on the vine, God said you can eat it. But there's one tree that's in the middle of the garden that you cannot eat of it. Now, there were two trees in the middle of this beautiful garden that God had created. There was the tree of life, and then there was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And God told Adam, of all these trees, you can freely eat. You can eat until your heart is content. But of that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you cannot eat of that tree. That was the one thing God told Adam that he could not do. Now, we've taken our walk for today through the Bible. We've seen the creation. We've seen this beautiful garden of Eden that God created. Yeah, that was the name of the Garden of Eden, and it was so beautiful. And God placed him there. We've seen that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. We've seen that tree of the knowledge of the tree of life. And we've heard God say to Adam, of that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you cannot eat of it. Now, tomorrow, we're going to continue our walk through the Bible in the Garden of Eden tomorrow. And we're going to see what happens after Adam, that first man, and Eve, that first woman, lived together in the Garden of Eden. Thank you for joining me on my walk today. And I hope that you come and join me again tomorrow as we continue our walk through the Bible. You have a blessed day.